Welcome everybody, my name is Dominique and today we have a mat Pilates style upper body sculpt. For this workout, we will use wrist weights and I recommend anywhere from 1 to 3 pounds. If you do not have wrist weights or would prefer not to use wrist weights today, this workout is completely accessible with body weight only. Once you have your equipment and your mat laid out, I invite you to turn on your favorite music and a separate browser and we will go ahead and get started. So we will turn to face towards the front of the mat. I'm going to stay on a diagonal so that you have a diagonal view of me to see my alignment and so I can help with some cueing. So we will have our feet planted, knees bent, and then go ahead and roll yourself back down. Take both of your hands, bring them to the navel space. And as always, at the beginning, we will center. So we shift our focus to our breath. Notice the inhales and exhales, the pace and the depth. Then wherever you are in your breath cycle, empty the breath completely. Together we inhale through the nose, open mouth, sigh. 2 more, big inhale in. Exhale, let it out. Last one, fill up through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Find a natural cadence with the breath. Knit the ribs in, interlace your fingertips, hands come to the back of the head. We'll start with some chest lifts to warm up the core. We have a neutral pelvis, legs are glued together. We inhale here, exhale, lift up through the chest. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Keep with this movement. See if you can lift a little bit higher, even if it's only a millimeter each time you come up. Make sure your ribs still knit in as you come down. We want to avoid any flaring of the rib cage up towards the ceiling. We have a few more here. Last 5, 4, give me 3, 2, on 1, hold at the top, extend the arms long, breathe here. We just hold still, not going into hundreds yet. We hold for 5, 4, 3, see if you can lift a little higher, 2, on 1, keep the arms extended long alongside the body, palms down towards the mat, lower your back down. You can walk your heels in a little bit closer as we prepare for a bridge. So to start, the arms will be alongside the body. Tilt the pelvis up towards the ceiling, then inch by inch, roll yourself up, a little squeeze at the top, and then release, roll back down. Neutral neck here, press through the heels, tilt the pelvis. Vertebrae by vertebrae, roll yourself up, little squeeze at the top, then release, lower, back down. So we really want to focus when we're at the top to make sure that we're not overextending, that pelvis is still neutral, core is still engaged, and ribs are still knitting in. We will add on to this. So we'll do this for a few more rounds and then I'll guide you to where we're going next. Last 3 here, really try to articulate the spinal roll up just as much as spinal roll down. Sometimes the up or down might be a little bit more difficult. Last 1 here. So now go ahead and roll up to the top. We hold at the top. Inhale, lift your arms overhead, palms are up towards the ceiling. This time we keep a neutral pelvis. As we exhale, your arms will move faster than the glutes as you lower down. Then inhale, lift, arms come all the way up over the head. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. So this time we're keeping the spine and pelvis stable. There is no rolling action. Of course, if you prefer to roll vertebrae by vertebrae, you absolutely can. It's a little bit of a different movement, different goal there. So for this, I would really like for us to work on the core and the glutes, which is why I would like for you to keep everything stable and to let go of the roll. We have a few more. Connect with the breath. Engage through the inner thighs. We have 5. Last 4 here. 3. Last 2. One more full round. And then we end with the arms extended overhead. So keep the arms up and then we'll vertebrae by vertebrae roll the back and the glutes back down onto the mat. Walk the feet out a footprint. Then we inhale here with arms extended overhead. As you exhale, chin to chest, round and roll all the way up, and then lift up integrity through the spine at the top. We reverse that, roll down vertebrae by vertebrae, arms overhead. Keep moving here. So you can move the palms if you would like, so you can flip them inwards as you come up, and then flip the palms up towards the ceiling as you come down, or you can stick with one direction. It doesn't matter what you do with your palms. Really connect and focus on what's going on in the legs, the pelvis, the back, the neck. We have a few more here. You might feel some heat starting to build in the body as we warm up. Last 3. Last 2. Last one, we hold at the top. Keep integrity through the spine. Start to lean back, broad through the shoulders. Core belt is engaged. Palms flip down towards the mat. Now we have our hundreds. We pump. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep with that pattern. Ribs are knitting in. Core is probably starting to get tired, so it might be a little bit more difficult. This is when the challenge really starts to step in, and this is where we evolve. This is where we build strength and resilience of the body and the mind. Keep going. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got it. We have 2 more rounds of that. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are done. Lift yourself up. We'll come onto the knees, so roll yourself around. I'm going to scooch back into the center to make sure you have a good view of me. And then we'll come up on to the knees. So you can take a moment, take a quick breather, perhaps a drink of water. And then we'll go ahead, knit the ribs in, start to hinge at the hips. So you'll slightly sit the glutes back. Make sure you have engagement through the glutes. So even though we're going to focus on moving the upper body, we're still strong and engaged through our core and our lower body. So palms up towards the ceiling, hands come behind us. And we're gonna open the arms out wide, kind of like airplane wings. I'm just going to move away from the wall a little bit. So we'll open up to the sides, bring it back in. Neutral neck, gaze in front of you. Open up and close. Does not have to be a big movement. Open and close. Connect the breath. You can inhale as you open and exhale as you close. See if you can really cultivate that mind-muscle connection here to the lats, the triceps, the glutes, the core. We have a few more and then we'll move into our next exercise of this series. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arms come in alongside the body. Lift yourself up, palms up towards the ceiling. Bend at the elbows. We have a serve the platter and then lean back at the same time. Lift, pull the elbows in, lean back, serve the platter. So we still have a strong core here. Ribs knit in, inner thighs are engaged and glued together. You can always make little micro adjustments as you move. I always say this in my yoga classes, just because you land somewhere doesn't mean you have to stay there. So give yourself that flexibility to make the micro adjustments as you check in with your body. Make sure your glutes are squeezing here and are strong. That'll help to protect the low back and will also help to keep the core stable. We have 5 more. Last 4. Slow and controlled for 3, 2, and 1. We lift ourselves up, arms alongside the body, hinge at the hips, palms up towards the ceiling, engage the core and glutes, then we open and close. Open, close, open, close. See if your hands are hovering over your glutes as they come behind you. That'll help you stay lifted and engage the lats a little bit more. The extension through the elbows will really start to challenge the triceps. Keep breathing, keep moving. Try not to move with momentum, really move with muscle and control here. We have 5. Last 4. 3, 2, last 1. We lift up, palms up towards the ceiling, bend through the elbows. You know where we're going. Back and up. Squeeze through the inner thighs and lift. Strong through the glutes. Ribs knit in. You've got this. Focus. Perhaps you find a spot on the wall or floor in front of you to help you keep that focus. We have 5 more. Last 4. Last 3. Give me 2 more here. Last 1. After this, we switch up the movement. We come up to kneeling and you'll step your left leg forward. So we're in a low lunge here with right knee on the earth, left leg planted, and we're not quite in a yoga lunge. It's up to you. You can keep some space if you want to stretch through your hip, but you actually might start to get really tired by doing that. Whether you have a lot of distance or a little bit of a distance, what I want you to focus on is making sure left knee is in line with left ankle and that you're squeezing through your right glute. Knit the ribs in, core is strong here. Arms alongside the body. You can have some energy beaming through the fingertips, palms up, facing in front of you. And then we lift the arms overhead for rainbows, lower back down. Lift and lower, lift and lower. So again, this is another slow and controlled movement. It's also something that'll start to creep up on us. So you might not really feel much heat at first, and then all of a sudden it'll get you, especially as we start to add on. Integrity through the spine, proud through the chest. We have 5 more here, and then we'll go to our next exercise. Last 4. Last 3. 2. And 1. To transition, we will lift the arms overhead, bend at the elbows. As you exhale, bring the palms in towards one another. Inhale to open up. As you exhale, your right hand will come overhead and start to lean over towards the right. This will really work our obliques. We come back to center. Inhale. Exhale, palms in. Inhale, open. Exhale, lean over towards the left. And we come back to where we started. So keep with that. As you lean over towards the left, you want to try to keep your left elbow in line with the shoulder. We really want to keep that 90 degrees. So even though you're leaning, you try not to drop elbow and shoulder. Shoulders are really going to start to light up here. You can do it, and you might start to see what I meant about the stretch through your right hip. Again, you have the flexibility and the capability to make any micro adjustments that you need. We'll keep moving. We have a few more. And after this, we'll move into a different movement. We'll give our hips and lower body a break. We'll come into a tabletop. So we have 5. Last 4 here. 3. 2. And 1. So elbows are bent. We bring left knee down to the mat. Hands come down to the mat into a tabletop. We stay on our right side. So energy towards midline, knit the ribs in, lift your right elbow outside of right hip. Then we press the palm up towards the ceiling, release. Press, release to 90-degree angle, press, and release. So we're isolating the triceps here. Neutral neck. Find your breath. Press up and away from the mat. Make sure you're not sinking into left elbow. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1. Lower right hand down to the earth, lift yourself up. We have that whole series again, but we're gonna switch to the other side. So we'll go back and forth for a total of 2 rounds on each side. So this time, our right leg will step forward. You'll find your positioning, whether your right foot is farther away or closer to your left knee. Ribs knit in, arms alongside the body. We rainbow the hands up towards the ceiling, lower them back down. Lift up towards the ceiling, lower them back down. Lift and lower. Strong through left glute. There's a lot going on here. Sometimes we don't realize how much our muscles are working in a lunge position that's supported by the ground. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling the heat in the shoulders. Definitely feeling the work. We have 5. Last 4 here. 3, 2, last 1. Then to transition, arms come overhead, bend at the elbows. Exhale, bring the palms in. Inhale, open. This time we lean over towards the right, so left arm extends. We'll come back to neutral. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, open. Exhale, bend. Inhale, release. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, bend. Inhale, release. Keep with that. See if you can stay at that pace. So we're working on a different side. You have a little bit of a different angle of me. So perhaps that helps you a little bit with your form and your alignment. We have a few more. And then we go into the tricep extension with left arm. And then we repeat the whole thing again on the other side. Last 5. Give me 4 more here. We have 3. Last 2. Last 1. Step the foot in, lower the elbows, hands come down. Press up and away from the mat. We bring left elbow in, then we press palm up towards the ceiling. Release to 90-degree angle, press it back. Release, press it back. Again, space between your torso and the mat, so you're lifting up and out of right shoulder. Neutral neck, ribs knit in. There's so much going on that sometimes we need those constant reminders of where we're engaging. Perhaps you have a little body scan going on. Equal weight distribution through right hand, that'll help with the wrist. We have 5 more here. Last 4, 3, 2, last 1. Left hand comes down to the mat. Lift yourself up. We step left foot forward this time. Find your distance with left foot. Knit the ribs in, arms alongside the body. Here we go. It's going to start to get tough now. This is where it's time to test mental strength, mental resilience. So it's all fun and dandy when it's easy, but as soon as we really start to struggle and have to keep our form, that's when we're really challenging ourselves. And that's honestly too when we start to see the biggest rewards, right? So whether that's from strength, resilience, being proud of ourselves, seeing our limitations, whatever it is for you that's motivating, this is where we get to channel that. We have 5 more. Last 4, 3, 2, last 1. Again, to transition, we bring the arms up, bend through the elbows, inhale, exhale, palms together. Inhale, open. Exhale, right arm extends, lean to the left. Inhale, bring it down. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, bend. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, bend. Inhale, neutral. Oh yeah, definitely wanting to feel the elbows come lower than the shoulders. So we're really fighting against gravity here, fighting against the wrist weights if you have them, to keep the elbows up and as close to being in line with the shoulders as they can be. We have a few more here. Last 5. Last 4. Last 3. We have 2 more. Last one, and then we're going into the tricep extension. Arms alongside the body, left knee down. Lower the hands, press up and away from the mat, ribs knit in, lift right elbow, press up towards the ceiling. Release, press it back, release, press it back, release. Keep going. Yes, you can. You're stronger than you think. Whether you realize it or not, a lot of the mental strength and resilience that we work on here on the mat will definitely help us out off of the mat in the real world. We have 5 more. Last 4. Last 3. 2. And 1. Lower right hand down, lift yourself up. This time, right leg stays out. This is the last round of this series. You got this. Ribs knit in, find your spacing, arms alongside the body, rainbow the hands up, release them down. Squeeze through left glute, hands up, release. Lift and release. Really connect with the breath. That'll help you power through. We have a few more here. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Now we move through the transition. So we lift the arms overhead, bend through the elbows, inhale, exhale, palms together. Inhale, open up, exhale, lean over towards the right, left arm extends. Inhale, center. Exhale, close it out. Inhale, open, exhale, extend. Keep with that. As you open, you're engaging through your upper back muscles. It's amazing how much our breath really helps us focus, channel it, use it. We have a few more here. Last 5. Last 4. We have 3. 2 more here. Last one. Then we release the arms down, step your right knee back, hands on the earth, press up and away from the mat, knit the ribs in, lift your left elbow, extend through the arm, release. Extend through the arm, release. Keep moving here. See if you can lengthen your inhales and exhales. That'll help you focus and move with precision and control. Again, you're always welcome to make those micro adjustments. You might see me doing the same. Last 4, 3, 2, last 1. Sit back on the heels, give yourself a little break. If you have water next to you, you can go ahead and take a sip of water. Perhaps you take some time to roll out your wrists. Maybe roll out through the shoulders. We have one more series and then we have our cool down and our stretch. So whenever you are ready, you'll meet me in a tabletop. I'm going to face alongside of my mat this time. So hands plant on the mat, press up and away. Then you'll step one foot out and then the other for a plank. Lift up through the kneecaps, squeeze the glutes, knit the ribs in. You can either stay here and hold or tap left shoulder, then tap right shoulder. Tap left shoulder, tap right shoulder. You can stay with that, and each time you tap, try to keep your weight as close to midline as possible. The challenge is as we lift one hand, we might dip our weight into the other side. We want to try to avoid that. So really try to keep stable. If you're tapping through the shoulders, we have 2, and last 1. Then we'll come down onto our knees. Lift yourself up into a kneeling position. Glue the inner thighs together. Squeeze through the glutes, arms in front, palms towards the front of the mat. Bend through the elbows, then extend the arms overhead, and we reverse. So we just go through this movement here. It's a bicep curl into a press. Find your breath. We're almost there. We have 5. Last 4. 3, and then we're going back into our plank. Last 2, and 1 more. Release the hands down, find your tabletop. Whenever you're prepared and you have the equal weight distribution through your hands, you can step back into your plank. Again, you have the choice. You can stay still here, or you can add the shoulder taps. It's completely up to you and what you feel you need today. Again, if you have the shoulder taps, really try to keep your weight in the midline. Try not to shift too much back and forth. You might have a micro shift, but as long as they're small, micro is the key word there. If you're tapping, we have 2 more on each side. Last 1. Then we lower the knees down. Lift yourself up, palms face in front, bend through the elbows, extend the arms up, and lower down. You can walk your knees in a little bit closer together to zip up through the inner thighs, to engage through the inner thighs, and to help engage all through the core. We're almost done. What does that change for you? Does that help you give a little bit more for these last few reps? Try not to speed it up. I know it's easy as we start to get tired and close to the finish line. Try to still move with control and with a nice, steady pace. Last 5. Last 4. We have 3 more. Last 2. Last 1 here. Now we have a little bit of a burnout. We'll lower down. We'll lift to midline and release. Midline, release, midline, release. So we're coming to that 90-degree angle with our elbows. Yes, you can. We have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we lift all the way up. Lift your elbows in line with your shoulders. We go to an extension and then back only to elbows in line with shoulders. So we're shortening the movement, isolating, burning out on these last few reps. You've got this. Keep your core engaged, glutes squeezing together, inner thighs engaged. Give me 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We release, lower down, sit back on the glutes, and then spin your legs around. We have our feet planted, knees bent, glutes on the mat, hands turn out towards the long sides of the mat, press through the heels, lift yourself up, stretch. You'll probably feel this through the shoulders, the biceps, maybe even the forearms. Squeeze your glutes a little bit higher, perhaps you even drop your head back, and then you can floss if you would like. Then lower yourself down. If you have your wrist weights, we'll take them off for our stretches. And I'll spin, turn to face you. A lot of these stretches we've done many times in class, so we'll inhale, open up to a T. Exhale, wrap your left arm over your right, hands come to behind the shoulders, and then try to pull your elbows away from the body, keeping integrity through the spine. Then we release, open up, other side. Creating space through the upper back, release. This time we find an eagle wrap with the left arm over the right, elbows in line with the shoulders. Release, other side. Again, elbows in line with the shoulders. Then we release, interlace, hands at the low back, roll shoulders up towards the ears, slide them down, hand packet to left hip, pull your left elbow back, and then drop left ear to left shoulder. Stretch all through the right side of the neck and right shoulder. And then we release, other side, hand packet to right hip, pull your right elbow back, drop right ear, right shoulder. Then release, release hand packet, roll through the wrists. You are done with your mat Pilates style upper body sculpt for today. If you enjoyed this workout, please be sure to let me know by hitting the like button below and leaving a comment. Thank you for tuning in with me, and I'll see you next time.